The idea of living tiny was a new concept for me. What this house has, it doesn't make me miss the kitchen I had prior to this home. I needed a washer dryer. I wanted a washer dryer in the house. Loft, this is a drop floor, so you have a little more headspace up there on this side of the loft. There was a message from a lady who was a sister on the fly in Indiana, and she said, "Tamara, I hope this isn't your house." Welcome to my living room. One of the things that I wanted in my living room was to ensure I had a lot of space. There were a lot of floor plans that I could choose from, and I chose to pay a little bit extra on an upgrade to have this bump out window. I gained space because I could push my sofa back, and then that still gave me floor space here. I have a hodgepodge of different furnishings. I like reusing this old student desk. It's beat up. It's so beat up, but I bought it at a yard sale, and it was just fascinating that it still stood the test of time. But everything else you'll see, it just looks reused. It is. There's a vibe in the house, and you'll soon see as we go through the tour, there's just little nuances of my personality, of things just designed to make me relax, to help keep me in that even mode. It just helped me lead into this new life in this tiny home. I came from a 3,000 square foot home. Actually, it was a little bit larger than that. So imagine my kitchen. It was pretty big, lots of storage. But you know, I don't miss what this house has. It doesn't make me miss the kitchen I had prior to this home. I had the options of being able to customize this home and have it built to my preferences and my user aesthetic and my user needs. In this kitchen, I was able to fit full-size appliances. I have a double sink, I have a full-size gas stove, it's got 5 burners and an oven. I have a full-size refrigerator and a microwave. I don't have a dishwasher. I don't want a dishwasher because I'm the dishwasher. It was important to me that I had a counter that I could entertain at. I mean, it's small, but you know what? Friends are usually on the opposite side where you're at, and I'm over here cooking and doing what I need to do, and we can visit. In order to save some storage space for the bigger items, I decided to go ahead and put like my cups on the outside for easy access. I got this over the sink dish dryer. It really works well. This little utensil holder, because you know most people have their utensil holders on the counter. I don't want to use my counter space for that. I figured I'd make these cabinets work for me. Storage underneath here, you can't see that, but it's there. It's corner spaces, and I put pull-out shelving on it. Be very mindful when you are selecting what you're bringing into your tiny home, especially in your kitchen. You're embarking on a whole new lifestyle when you come into a small home, and that's just part of it. I have storage here, and there's 2 cabinets here that I put things in, and I'll give you a peek because I wasn't sure I would want to share, but I don't know how messy it looks, but there's what my cabinet looks like inside. I'm not showing you the bottom part though. You're not going to see that. I think it's a little messier. Over here I have storage. It's a little rolling pantry or a storage. I think people use it for crafts. If you use something that you find might work in my kitchen, please drop it in the comments and let me know. I'm always open to looking for better, more efficient ways of making my house work for me. Thanks. So come with me. We're going to look at the other side of the house now. This was the front side. Come on to the back and we'll see what it looks like there. The idea of living tiny was a new concept for me. This house has a base price. Now, this was in 2021, so it had a base fee of like $65,000. And then you add in options. And well, by the time I was done with my options, this house became a $79,000 home. Then on top of that was the transportation, because the manufacturer is in Indiana. And so I think it came somewhere around like $99,000 altogether. So from there, the park model people wanted to know, do you have a place to put the house? I looked around. I started thinking I could go into like an RV resort, but some of those closed down because we have the winters. And then, of course, there's a manufactured community. So I explored that. From there, I went back to the park model dealer and told them I have a place and this is where I'm going to put it. I was really excited, and I told a lot of friends that I'm in a women's adventure group called Sisters on the Fly. So some of you may have heard of that group. Some of you might even be in the group. My house is on its way. Can you guys trailer spot for me? There was a message from a lady who is a Sister on the Fly in Indiana, and she said, Tamara, I hope this isn't your house. And then there were pictures of what looked like my house. I called the driver and he told me, I asked him, hey, I just saw a picture, is that my house in front of Bass Pro Shop? And he said yes. And I just felt so deflated. He said the house appeared okay. It was no windows broke, everything looked intact. It sounded like it just kind of rolled on its own and came to a rest. Went back to the manufacturing plant where they checked the structural integrity of the home. When it rolled in, I was just so excited. My neighbors across the road, we were just like clapping like a parade. I can't even express how exciting that was to have the house roll in. I felt that she survived that, and I survived a different situation. And so therefore, it was really nice to be able to say, we're bonded together. This house is going to take care of me, just like I'm going to take care of her. I needed a washer dryer. I wanted a washer dryer in the house. So I have the dryer up here, it's electric, and then the washer down here. In this bathroom, I have used some creative storage solutions. I have gotten the over-the-toilet storage rack. And I have gotten this little rack here. It's another organizer, probably for crafts, that you can store your things in as well. You can tell there's not a whole lot of space here for cosmetics or, the usual products that somebody might use. So it's all behind the glass doors of the medicine cabinet. So my usual routine would be just coming in here, brushing my teeth, and I hide that behind here in the middle cabinet. I just have the basics on the countertop. I had the choice of having a bathtub or the shower, and I opted for the shower. And the reason why I opted to have the shower was because it gave me more floor space. And then that gave me a linen closet. So I store all my linens. I'd open it, but I think things might fall out right now because I kind of push things in there pretty quick. I was just talking to a friend, and we were saying that hardly anybody ever irons anymore, but I have an ironing board, and it's a tiny ironing board, and I love it. Yeah, if you see any ideas that you like in my bathroom, and you have any comments that you think might work for me, again, I'm open to hearing what you might have to say as well. Initially didn't know how I was going to use the loft. All I could think again was I'm going from 3,000 square feet to 399 square feet. I did not know how it was going to work for me, and there was that option of having a loft. So you know what? I went for it. If I have a family member that comes and they want to spend the night and stay with me for a weekend, it won't feel crowded. They'll have their own sense of privacy up here. I do sleep up here in the winter because heat rises, and it's just a nice way for me to stay warm in the winter because we do get some pretty brutal temperatures here in Washington. I have a recliner here because there's a TV. I don't think you can see it from where we're sitting. I have a ukulele collection, and depending on what mood I'm in, I keep my ukuleles up here, and I have to, check on them because it is warmer up here, and I just got to make sure that they stay nice and humidified. That's my loft. A couple years ago, I went tiny for a number of reasons. Number one, I was in a situation I needed to remove myself from. This was during the pandemic, and housing costs were crazy. The real estate market during pandemic was bonkers. I was having trouble finding a home I could afford on my salary, and trying to find a home that was near my job. Watched the channels, the tiny home tours. There's a lot of different social media groups that I was watching, and I just started exploring those small homes. So I am approaching those retirement years, and I have to really watch my money. During pandemic, it was more like I didn't want to be house poor. The park model home seemed like an ideal sort of situation for me. This is the bedroom. It is a queen size bed. I had this over the bed bookcase, and the storage up here is an option. And the neat thing with the builder is, you can pick and choose what you want. And so I went for, I didn't know what it was going to be like living tiny. So I went for whatever I could afford. Cabinet space underneath on these they call them nightstands, but they're pretty tiny. But around each of these is a USB on both sides of the bed. This is the other side of the bedroom. They call it a his and a hers closet, but I call it the hers and the hers. Actually, I use it for seasonal, the coats, and on this side, there is, hangy stuff, and then I put little drawers in here. And then, of course, a bank of drawers for, your other shirts and whatever you put in drawers. This open space is designed for a 32-inch TV. It's got all the hookups back there, but I don't watch TV in my bedroom. So I put the decorations up there instead. This builder has a drop-down bedroom. It works for taller people, so they're not bumping their head. When you're up in the loft, this is a drop floor, so you have a little more headspace up there on this side of the loft. So it all kind of balances out. Think of your habits, evaluate yourself, and be honest with yourself as you're planning your tiny home, and especially your bedroom, because this really needs to be the place that you rest and that you can re-energize for the next day. So make it your peaceful place. I'm so happy now. I'm on my own, I'm thriving, and I look forward to new challenges. I'm blossoming all over again, and people say to me, you're back to yourself, and that makes me really happy to hear that, because then it makes me think, what was I like then? So I'm really glad that I was able to make that change and move on. But rest assured, I didn't want anybody who's watching this to worry, like, is she okay? Is she really okay? Yeah, I am. I've never been happier, and really I owe a lot of that to the decisions I made, being positive. I just want to reiterate that, you're in charge of your happiness, you're in charge of your own thoughts, and try not to let people project onto you about your decision, maybe that, to go tiny if this is something that you want to do. Just get out there and be you, be happy, be positive, because that's the only way that you can take every single day as it comes. If you send me in your comments and you give me some good things that might work in my house and I go for them, you might want to follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is the YOLO Bungalow Park Model Life. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate that you took time out of your day because you wanted to check out my house. So thank you very much, and I hope you had fun too.